Another year, another tag, cause they ain't going nowhere. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife and today I am taking yet another January theme tag, but this one is the January tag. Bear with me. This one was created by Jan Agaton, but I actually found it on Sid Bookworm's channel and I'm going to leave both of their videos in the description below. It's kind of a hybrid of looking back on 2021 and looking forward to what's about to come in 2022, which I feel like is kind of the mood for January anyway. So it feels like the perfect time to get started with the new year. The first question is, can you remember what your first and last reads of the previous year were? I think my first read of 2021 was Dominicana by ANGIE CRUZ. This is about a young girl who moves from the Dominican Republic to New York when she is maybe like 15 or 16. She's brought as a kind of a child bride. She's kind of married off to a very well-to-do man from her local area. And when she moves to New York, everything just completely changes. She has a complete culture shock. She doesn't really speak a lot of English, so she's finding it really difficult to get accustomed to where she's living right now. And she really misses her family back at home. Like a lot of people who have left their home countries, she would have sent money back to your family so that they don't suffer as much abject poverty as they would have had before. The last book that I read in 2021 was And Away by Bob Mortimer, who is one of my all-time absolute favourite comedians. I absolutely adored this book. If you've seen Bob on Taskmaster, if you've seen Bob on Would I Lie to You, or any other panel show from the UK, you're very familiar with the kind of chaotic energy that Bob brings to everything. And this book absolutely put that onto the pages and more. But it is also interspersed with stories from when Bob was diagnosed with a life-threatening heart condition, needed emergency surgery, and his recovery from that, and how it kind of set him back and didn't exactly bring across the Bob that we all know and love so much. Question 2, what is your first read of this year? And my first read from 2022 was The Tiger Who Came to Tea by Judith Kerr. I had never in my life actually read The Tiger Who Came to Tea, and I found an audio copy of it on Scribd and thought it was just such a sweet, cute, very quick way to start off my reading for 2022. And I was absolutely correct. It is such a wonderful story. It's a great one to read to your kids when they're going to sleep. And it's got a little bit of chaotic energy as well from the tiger, but I absolutely adored it. Question 3 is to share 3 of your reading goals. And I've already done a video going into quite a few of these, but the top ones for me of this year are, first of all, to read 100 books. Stemming on from that, I'm also hoping to save €1 for every book that I've read. So hopefully by the end of 2022, I will have at least €100 for me to play around with and to go on a little bit of a spending spree. I'm also aiming to get my NetGalley score to around 75%. If I manage to get it over the magical 80, even better, but 75% over the year would be phenomenal. And something else that I'm really aiming for and hoping for this year is to finally read a book cover to cover completely in German. I tried to do that in 2021 and failed spectacularly. I think I gave up after about 50 to 100 pages and found it a little bit too difficult. But the book that I have got in mind for going back to starting again, I have a feeling I'm going to get on a little bit better. Question number 4 is to share 3 of your most anticipated books for this year. So the first one coming out in February is Again Rachel by Marian Keyes. I have a pre-order copy of this that is hopefully going to be delivered around the same time that the book is published, so I don't have to wait for too much longer. It follows Rachel from Rachel's Holiday about 25 years after her stint in rehab, and we're watching how her life has improved, how she's gotten herself back on track, but how characters from her past are coming back in and trying to upset everything. Coming out in April, I'm really looking forward to The No Show by Beth O'Leary, which follows 3 women who all go on a date with the exact same guy, who stands up all 3 of them at the same time, and they realize that they are all dating this same guy and that he is not exactly who he seems to be. I've got to wait all the way until November again, but I would absolutely adore to get my hands on The Christmas Wish by Lindsay Kelk. She is one of my auto-buy authors. Everything that she has written I have read and I have loved. There isn't a whole lot of information about this book already. I don't even think that it has a cover at the moment, But as I know about this book so far, it's a kind of a time loop situation. I've read a couple of time loop books before and I've really enjoyed those ones, so fingers crossed that it's the same story here. Question number 5, which reading goals did you not hit last year? I am pretty certain that I did not actually reduce my TBR by 30 books. I wanted to get at least 30 books off of my physical TBR, and I think with all the fluctuations of things actually going off and coming back on, I don't think that I actually managed to hit the magical 30. It's probably something that I'm going to take a little bit of a closer look at this year. I have got a tab on my Goodreads account where I keep an eye on what my physical TBR numbers look like. At the moment, that is at about 84 books, and if I even manage to bring that down by 15, I'm doing pretty okay. I also did not get my NetGalley score to 80%. It might have been a little bit too much of a climb for me, considering at the start of 2021, I probably had only a score of about 50-55%. I was really hopeful that I would climb that 30% over the course of the year, but again, there are so many fluctuations with books that I have been approved for and then books that I have recommended and reviewed. It was just a little bit too chaotic for me, and I think I managed to end the year at about 71%, which is still pretty good, but not the 80% that I wanted to get to. Something that I definitely failed at doing is to introduce a little bit more diversity into the books that I was reading. A lot of the things that I read last year were all written by straight, white, female, cis authors, and I wanted to bring in a little bit more of that. While about 20% of the books that I read were not written by white authors, I think that number is a little bit low, and hopefully in 2022 I'll have upped that a little bit more. Question number 6, are there any books that are coming out in 2022 that you don't really have any desire to read? I don't have names off the top of my head, because if there's a book that I'm not really looking forward to, I don't tend to pay a lot of attention to when it's coming out. But any book that's in fantasy, in horror, in sci-fi, isn't really something that I'm going to be paying too much attention to, and it's not something that I'm going to be counting the days down until it comes out. Question number 7. If there are any, what are some reading habits that you would like to change in 2022? I would definitely like to put my phone away at the end of the day, talking 10:30 the absolute latest, and just read. It's something I am genuinely so bad at doing. I will never put my phone away. I will just sit there scrolling until about 1:30 in the morning, then wake up at 8 o'clock and wonder why it is that I'm so tired and have to run off a caffeine diet. I definitely need to start being a little bit more healthy with my phone habits, especially in the evenings, and just put my phone away, maybe keep my tablet out for a read with me video and then put that away. And I know that that is going to be really difficult to do. I know that there's a lot of people who have struggled with it, and I don't know if it's going to have to be a go completely cold turkey or try and reduce it bit by bit, but it definitely is something that I'm going to try and change for this year. Question number 8, are there any adaptations that you are looking forward to this year? There's a couple coming out this year that I've already read the books and I'm quite excited for, but one that I really cannot wait to actually get to see is The Hating Game, the adaptation of the Sally Thorne novel. I absolutely adored this one. I know that it can be a little bit divisive here on BookTube and in the book community as a whole. I know that it's a TikTok darling. So many people in the romance community either love it or hate it. But I am very firmly placed into camp love it, and I cannot wait to see how it is. I don't have an Apple account, I don't have any Apple devices, so I don't have any way of watching it on Apple TV. But if it does come to a cinema here in Germany, I am first in line to go and see it. Question number 9, what is your favourite bookish memory from last year? Around the start of 2021, a group of 9 of us got together and started doing reading sprints on 2 particular people's channels. Shannon from 155 Books and Anna from Read to Me at Midnight. They alternated on different Sundays, and it was from 10 until 12 noon UK time. Then there were a couple of us who joined in as kind of stand-in hosts every week. The hosting would kind of switch around with who was there. Those people have become some of my closest BookTube friends. I am so grateful that I have managed to find them. They've helped me through not just some BookTube struggles, but also some of the struggles that I've had off camera for a lot of 2021, and I'm really glad that I've gotten to meet them. Finally, question 10. What are some carryovers that you have from last year? I actually don't have any books that I think I didn't finish in 2021 with the intention of bringing them over in 2022. I like to go into a new year with a completely blank slate, new book to start off the year. And if I am going to finish a book that maybe it will take me until the 27th or 28th to read, I will genuinely not read anything for the last couple of days of December, just in case it will carry over. I like to go into a new year completely with a brand new book. Those were my answers to the January book tag. What was your first read of 2022 and did you really enjoy it? Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.